Blue carbon's the carbon that's stored in coastal ecosystems. So if you think about estuaries and environment around the edge of those estuaries, there's habitats like salt marsh and mangroves, and further out there's little green grassy plants called seagrass. And those plants suck up carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and then store the carbon in the plant and also in the soil underneath it, and that's called blue carbon. So the special thing about blue carbon is that so long as you don't disturb the soil, the carbon stays locked in for a really long time, sometimes centuries or up to millennia. Seagrass is one of the most productive coastal ecosystems in the country. It's super important for storing carbon, but it's also really important as a nursery for fish. So some of our commercial species, as well as species that the recreational fishers like, a really important habitat for marine biodiversity. So with our Core and Restore pilot, we wanted to see how much blue carbon stored in New Zealand blue carbon habitats, because there's not much data for blue carbon storage in New Zealand. And we thought, let's go to one of the biggest areas of seagrass in the country, Farewell Spit. There's about 25% of New Zealand seagrass located there. What we wanted to do was have a look at 3 different kinds of density of seagrass. So really lush, dense seagrass, more moderately dense seagrass, and then less dense. We trialled 2 different methods for core sampling in the seagrass just to see what was the most practical method if we want to do it on more wide scale. We just wanted to see what's going to work best. So we had a Cawthron team and a BECA team, and then we had helpers from Manawhenua ki Mohua. The partners in the Core and Restore work at Farewell Spit were Cawthron, BECA, Ngāti Apa ki te Rato, and Onetahua Restoration, which includes Manawhenua ki Mohua, Health Post Nature Trust and Tasman Environmental Trust. Health Post Nature Trust has really been involved with us right from the start. They indicated really early on that they were happy to provide financial support to look at Farewell Spit. Without that, we probably wouldn't have even thought of going there. The next step is really to understand the results from the blue carbon sampling and then to have a discussion about whether restoration's needed. So is the seagrass healthy over there? Is the habitat as expansive as we thought it was based on the 2005 surveys that we have? If it does need restoration, well, what are the stresses? What are the pressures that are putting a strain on that ecosystem? So there's lots of questions that come out of this initial exercise. There's not a lot of published data on blue carbon storage in New Zealand, so our study is going to be quite a significant contribution to the national data set on blue carbon.